Hey everybody, how's it going? Just getting things back together, back into the swing of things. You guys know I went to Buck and Stock. What a journey. I want to talk about that today, and I picked up a new saw for the channel, got rid of a few saws while I was down there, and we're going to talk about all that. But I always have people say, what's it like to go to an event like Buck and Stock or Bunyan, you know, the events that I've been to. What's it like? So we're going to talk about that today, and I'm going to show you the new saw that I picked up. And friends, it rained while I was gone. We got grass for days. Look how long that is behind me. We're going to put the old F3060 Kubota to work. I've been looking to upgrade my mower, but the new ones have DEF. You know, they have regen cycles, and I've read there's a lot of problems. I'm having a harder and harder time thinking about upgrading this machine. I also want to talk about my F250. Let's jump right into that, and then let's talk about Buck and Stock, and let's show the new saw I got. It's a saw that has never, ever, ever been on this channel. I've never had one on the bench. I've run one, I think, one time in all the years I've been playing with chainsaws. But before that, let's talk about Betty White. What a truck. So you guys know I took my 96 F250 7.3 Power Stroke. The truck has about 190,000 miles on it, like 300 and I think she's at 320 now. I bought it with 286,000 kilometers. So I've put a fair amount of Ks on this thing. It was kind of a risky proposition to take this truck, although I drive it all the time. I've never driven it that far. The farthest road trip we've been on in this truck is probably about 5 hours. So that was a thing, but my gut told me to take this truck, and I figured this truck would get us there and back. I'll flip you guys around so you can stare at her while I'm flapping. Here she is. A lot of you guys saw this thing in the parking lot, and it's fairly rusty for that neck of the woods, but for my neck of the woods, this thing's clean. I'm going to say, friends, this truck, I did 3,500 kilometers or 2,200 miles in this truck over 2 days. Okay, this thing almost never shut off for 2 days of its life. We ran it and ran it and ran it. It did not miss a beat. I popped the hood. The only time I popped the hood once and checked the oil. The rest of the times I popped the hood was to hook up the slip tank. Now, friends, I proudly proclaimed that I got 16 miles per gallon. I was really happy. But you know what, friends? I was still punch drunk from the drive. I forgot, friends. I was calculating based off how much fuel I bought. Well, this tank still has about 30 gallons in it, and I didn't realize that I still got a full front tank. We were running off the back. So if I do the math just roughly, because some people are curious about that, what kind of, if I bought one of these, can I afford to drive it? Well, friends, I got more like 20 miles per gallon. No joke. Like legit 20 miles per gallon. Mostly almost 90% highway. But I got 20 miles per gallon with this old girl, and we were doing between 70 and 80 mile an hour the whole trip. Can't complain. I got a new decal for my truck. Thank you to the Barth family. Should wear that with pride. So I get back from this journey, and I'm thinking, this truck needs some work, friends. Mechanically, it's perfect, but cosmetically, it's getting worse and worse. But I need this truck for my day-to-day, so I need to get fenders, and this thing needs fenders. The rad cradle needs some love. It's starting to rot pretty good in the front corners here. I noticed that when I was putting the headlights in, when I got the grill out, and both sides, the fenders, and this thing's got dents on it. It was a farm truck. It's been used. My cab corners are getting really bad, friends. I need to deal with these cab corners. These are original cab corners, believe it or not. There's still foam in there. This truck's been painted from here down. You can see, but I think somebody touched this up. Rockers are rock solid on this truck. And this brings me to the worst part, the bed. The ribs in this bed are, you can see it there, friends. They're rotten. And it needs some love. Frame's in good shape. I do have one spring hanger, one shackle in the back that's got a rust hole in it. We can fix that. You can see. So I'm starting to think I might have to take this truck out of service and replace the body panels. That'll be a couple month endeavor. But anyways, it just got me thinking, friends. But this truck, amazing. I would drive her coast to coast tomorrow and not worry about it. I can't believe how good this truck did on the journey. Okay, friends, so I want to talk about, I know, I like this hat. Weekend Warrior 802. Nice couple, husband and wife team. Husband came up to me, sorry, bud, I forget your name. I feel bad, but you meet so many people at these events, it's hard to remember everybody's name, but I subscribe to their channel, and I watched some video of them going to Buck and Stock. Just nice people. His wife came up to me, I think on the second day, friends, and, you know, saw that I was wearing the hat, and just nice people. I can't put it into words what these events mean. Well, I'd never been to an event, friends. I started YouTubing like 6 years ago with no plan. My plan was I just needed to put content out, I guess, to help people. I started to realize that perhaps I'm antiquated technology. I'm not an old fella, but I guess I'm middle-aged now. You know, the gray's starting to set in, and sometimes I think I'm in my 20s still, but I'm not. And I grew up a different way than a lot of people. Wrenching is just in my blood. It's what I've always done, and I tell people this story all the time. I didn't set out. I was posting videos of saws I had for sale, so that people could, when they travel, they could see the video and they would know that what they're getting, kind of thing. And then I started getting comments on my videos, and people would ask me, do you know how to tune a carburetor? Do you know how to rebuild a carb? My saw won't start. You know, all the things that we've covered over the last 6 years and 600 or 700 videos we've done. And that's how I started YouTubing. And the more I helped people, the more I wanted to help people. And what ended up happening was it kind of morphed into what it is now. And you go to these events. The first one I went to was Bunyan 3 years ago, and I got invited to come with Buckin, and the Ripsaw boys invited me, and I didn't know any of those guys, and I just kind of showed up there not knowing what to think, and it kind of was overwhelming because literally the first day I ran into Christine because she was there earlier, and, you know, same time as me, and we were waiting for Buckin, and we went for lunch, and people were kind of staring at me. And I thought, do I got something on my face or something on my shirt? And we were in a restaurant, a local restaurant that was full of YouTubers. They were having lunch, and I recognized a few of them. And, you know, a few of them came up to me and said they were a fan of the channel, and I'd never experienced that before. I mean, I run into tree guys once in a while locally here, and they know who I am. But other than that, I just kind of live my life. And after the first Bunyan, I was kind of overwhelmed. People were coming up to me left, right, and center, telling me, you know, how much I've helped them. And I didn't take that lightly. You never know how much you know, what you mean to somebody until you meet them. But anyhow, so I've been to a few events now, and I'm mentally prepared because, you know, people travel from far and wide, and when they come to meet you, friends, literally, I'll be talking to somebody, and there'll be somebody standing right next to me, and they'll wait for an hour if they have to get their moment. It's pretty neat, but when you meet people, I want to give them my all. You may have traveled farther than me to be there, and I'd hate to not give somebody my all when they're speaking with me. So it's pretty neat. You come back on an emotional hangover, we were calling it. I've heard Buchan call it that, or his wife said that, um, Wendy there. And so you come back and you're kind of drained. And it's incredible, but you come back recharged, reinvigorated. And, people give you hats and can't believe that you're wearing it. Of course I'm going to wear your hat. You made me a hat. I'm going to wear it. That's just how I am. I'm just a regular fellow like the rest of you out there. The only difference between me and you guys out there is maybe I have a YouTube channel, or, maybe my YouTube channel is bigger or smaller than you. But at the end of the day, we're all just doing what we do. So I just want to thank everybody for coming to the event. And there'll be more, I guarantee it. Um, sometimes the grind of YouTube, friends, is sometimes some weeks I usually do it at night in my shop, or right now I'm after work before dinner. I just sneak it in where I can, and you know, some days it can be hard, friends, because it takes time away from your family. Or I have a 3-year-old, and I'm very aware that she's growing up and she's watching me, and um, but then you go to an event and you hear what you've done for people, and I don't take that lightly. And it's never me saying, "Wow, look what I've done." It's more, it gives me how do I put this? It's hard to articulate what it's like. Just, I don't know. It gives me a sense that the world's not such a horrible place a lot of times, because um, just a lot of nice people we meet at these events. And it was just cool to stay at the bars and you know help people, or let people wanted to run my saws, and it's like, yeah, for sure. Wait till the next video, friends. A lot of it is you guys running my saws, and um, we had a lot of fun there, and it's just a way to say thank you. A lot of people have never run a ported 394. Um, but yeah, that's what I was feeling today. Back at work. A little bit of a gong show today, but it's worth it, right? It's totally worth it to get out there, friends. Wear sunscreen. I'm I'm cooked pretty good here, and that's what I'm feeling. So hopefully I didn't blather on for too long. One thing that happened, so I I go to these events, and normally I don't bring saws. Well, I got to bring saws this time, and I'd like to continue that. If I can drive to events, I definitely would like to. But um, last year, I met Justin Sizemore a couple of years ago. Sizemore Tree Works. He's on YouTube and Instagram. He does really good shorts. He's just a good guy. Him and I are so similar. It's funny, but I met him last year, and he had a nice MS 660, and I was oogling it last year. Friends, I've never had a 660 or an 066 Magnum. I've never bought one. I've never owned one. I've never had one on my bench, and I've tried. Every time I try and buy a 660, the deal falls through, or I'm always hunting for saws for you guys on the channel. Just things that I know you guys want me to work on. So anyways, we get to the event, and I brought that 2101 that we just finished. And the first night, we were kind of getting stuff ready when we were setting up. That would be Thursday, I believe. We arrived there Wednesday at 1 a.m. their time, Mom and I. It was a hairy drive. Um, Thursday morning, we woke up, and I barred up all my saws and figured out what I was going to run. And I wanted to put that 2101 in the wood. And they had about a 30 to 36 inch piece of hardwood there. Might have been, I think it was maple, friends, what we were cutting. Somebody correct me that's local. And Justin fired up that saw. Like, I want, friends, I'm not interested in people shining me up. I'm not interested in, look at how fast my saws are, or look at how good my saws are. That's never, I don't take work, and the work I do take, like, friends, I don't take work from the masses, because I would never be able to get the job done, have a family, a career, a YouTube channel. I knew that was never a thing for me. But I like building for guys that live on a saw. And Justin, he runs a tree service and he works at a tree service. So he's cutting 5 days a week at least, and he loves the craft. So I was really interested in him running one of my saws. He has saws ported by other builders. I got to run his ported 572. I can't remember the fella's name for the life of me. He's a well-known porter. Nice saw, did a good job on it, and it was cool to run. But he put that thing in the wood and his eyes lit up. He's never run a vintage saw like that. And I was thinking, that saw's older than he is. That's a late 80s vintage chainsaw. Well, he cut that big stick up like nothing, and his eyes were like, wow. And he was thinking about that saw, friends. So anyways, long story short, he had a 660 in the back of his truck, and of course I'm oogling it. And for whatever reason, friends, I was like, would you sell this thing? And he's like, yeah, I would. So we were humming and hawing. I don't know what a 660 is worth, friends. I was trying to find a fair number so he didn't feel like he got taken, and, you know, I felt okay about it. Anyways, long story short, friends, we decided to trade. He couldn't get his mind off that 2101. I told him, you know, that's a saw. If you got a big stem to break down on a job and you need to make quick work of it, you're pulling that saw out and let it eat. You know, you put a 3-foot bar on there. And so anyways, friends, we ended up doing a little tradesy. I don't know. I don't think he had really much of any money in this saw, and I really didn't have much of any money in that 2101. It was donated to the channel to do what I wanted with it, and we built it and had a good time, and Wolf Creek helped me out with the parts. So we did a little tradesies, and let's get right in there, friends. I have a 660 Magnum. I don't know anything about these. I haven't even looked at this saw. Let's see what we got. Okay, I brought this rubber to Bucket Stock figuring we may need a workbench, but I never ended up using it. Okay, here's what we got here. This is my favorite pipe I've ever seen. I'm going to call this the ice cream scoop pipe because it looks like an ice cream scoop. He said, I don't know if it was his brother-in-law or his buddy made this pipe kind of as a joke, but he's been running it like that. Let's have a look at the muffler. Friends, I literally did not examine this saw in any way. He wanted that 2101, and I thought, how could I not? He's such a good guy. I like who he is as a person. I like his character. I just like the guy. He's just a good fella. If we lived close, friends, we would hang out all the time. I guarantee it. Who knows? Maybe I'll travel to Cincinnati and do some content with him one day. I'd love to carry brush for him on a job. Anyways, friends, I never really looked. I don't know if you guys can see in there. It's hard to see, friends, but there you go. I don't know if you guys can see, but legit. Here, let's zoom in there. There, you guys can see that. Piston's like mint in this saw. So, again, you always read online, oh, you can't have a wide open pipe. Well, you can if you tune it properly. You can run this with no pipe, I bet. Piston looks perfect in this thing from what I can see. That's fine. It's got some wear on it, but I mean, this is a production saw. Look at this thing. It's dirty and grimy. Couple of issues with this saw. It's got the Pro Safety. I love that because it's Husqvarna-esque. You guys know me, I'm a Husky guy. You can't reset the chain brake, and I know why. The mounts are pretty spongy on this saw. So steel was pretty late to the spring AV mount game. This is a rubber mount saw. This has lineage back to the 064 and then the 066 Magnum. This is an MS660. I don't know what year it is. Can't see the, oh, there we go. Serial number is 165565264, if that means anything. Yeah, and I'm a Husky guy. I can look at the tag on a Husky and know what it is right away. I didn't realize, friends, it's got one of those cool Max Fulls on it. Again, production saw. It's dirty. I think you oil these. Somebody help me out in the comments. I think you oil these things. Looks like it's doing its job though. The post is bent for the Husuma, what's it? For the cover. I noticed the cover sits kind of funny, but again, it's a work saw. So anyhow, friends, this is what we have, and let's see if it starts. I've never even fired this thing. I thought we'd enjoy this together. And who knows what we're going to do with this thing. Maybe he'll end up back with it. I know what we're going to do, friends. I've never done one of these. I hear these can be tricky to port, to do it well. Anybody can grind, but to make these things really nasty, I hear they can be a tough saw to do. Maybe I'm wrong, but that's what I hear. I may take the OEM top end. As far as I know, and again, I could be wrong, this saw is completely OEM. And it's in good shape, friends. The cases look good. It doesn't look like it has a ton of time on it. It has the case saver here. Handle's in good shape. Like I said, it's got a few little issues with the mounts. But compression-wise, it's a 90cc class saw. I don't even know how big these are, friends. How many cc's are these? Like 90? 92? There's usually a sticker here on the handlebar, but... So anyways, friends, we did a trade, and let's fire this thing up. I don't have my EarPro. I do on the dash. I'm going to go grab it, because I guarantee this thing's going to be stupidly loud. Decomp is gone, and this thing's going to be super loud. See if I can hold it like this, and... Wow, that's a good saw. Well, friends, thank you, Justin. That's a nice running saw. Like, that might be the easiest starting big saw I've ever started. Now, friends, I didn't mock this up. This thing's been in my truck since I got home. I haven't even unpacked yet. The saws are all still in here. I just got a padlock on her. But there you guys go. It oils good. It starts good. Idle is super high. I don't know what's going on there. And we got a 660 for the channel. A super nice 660. Definitely gonna ditch this pipe, friends. Although it is cool. I might actually hack the end off of it and do something with it. I'll use the flange for sure. But just a nice saw and a memento, a memory of my first buck and stock. Anyhow, friends, thank you to everybody that hangs out here. Stay tuned. There'll be more buck and stock content. And Isn't that great, friends? I literally pulled this out of his truck like it's in work mode. That's how a cutter saw looks generally until he blows her off. But anyhow, friends, thanks for watching. Take her easy. I'll see you guys in a couple days with more buck and stock content. Later.